Hi friends, and welcome back to Poetry Perch. Today we're going to be reading different winter poems from different winter artists. I'm Dina, this is my co-host.
Me and Hyman.
And I think you wanted to start today, Ian?
I did actually.
All right.
I have a beautiful piece here by Emily Dickinson. It sifts from leaden sieves. It sifts from leaden sieves, it powders all the wood. It fills with alabaster wool the wrinkles of the road. It makes an even face of mountain and of plain, unbroken forehead from the east unto the east again. It reaches to the fence, it wraps it rail by rail, till it is lost in fleeces. It deals celestial veil. To stump and stack and stem, a summer's empty room, acres of joints where harvests were, recordless, but for them. It ruffles wrists of posts as ankles of a queen, then stills its artisans like ghosts, denying they have been. Thank you.
Of course.
So, there's a lot to unpack in Leaden Sieves. It's obviously, it's a lot more romantic in its language than what we were reading for the past few weeks.
Of course.
But that's going to be a recurring theme throughout our poems today. Now we're going to really get into the heart of poetry as an art form. And now it might not appear obvious on the first reading. Leaden Sieves is about fresh powder. It's about a snowfall. It sifts from leaden sieves. It powders all the wood, snow coating fence posts and tree stumps and the grass and the ground. The wrinkles of the road, you see that every day.
Of course.
Snow gathering, ice gathering in the parking lot and driveways.
Especially here in Indiana, we get real bad snow.
We really
Not
do.
as bad as some places, but
That's right, exactly. And funny thing is, this was written back in the 19th century, of course. This was Emily Dickinson's lifetime in 1830 to 1886, and it's amazing to see nature, its natural processes, the beauty of snowfall in winter, unchanged over centuries, over millennia, Dina. Do you ever stop and think about that? The snow that we're seeing is the same snow from ancient times, from the Revolution, from the Renaissance,
For sure.
from prehistoric even. It's incredible.
most things change, and that's just the way it goes. But things like the seasons, they're in stone. They'll change when they start appearing, but they'll always show up eventually.
You know, I think that there's a great message in there, Dina, because these seasons, they never stop. There's always going to be seasons, but they're never quite the same.
No.
Every year. There's a fluctuation, like, not to date this episode so much, but we were having snow as early as the 1st of November this year. It was hefty, it was big, and it was even accumulating a little. And but then other years, it won't be until January that we have, like, maybe even a sprinkling of snow.
And even then, you know, sometimes you get that snow and it's just gone the next day, like it never happened.
And then other times, you know, you feel like you're waking up in the Arctic.
Yep.
And what's really intriguing to me about that, and where I think we can draw an analogy here, is there's nothing to be ashamed about with change. Change is a natural process. You see it all the time in our environment. And human beings, we're not static. We too are like winter. We too sometimes have days where the snow is heavy and burdening us. But there are also days where it's a powdery blanket, where it makes an even face of mountain and of plain. And I think that that's something to be admired.
For sure.
Nothing is set in stone.
Never.
No.
And that's just the way it is, you know.
That's right.
All right. Would you like to read another, or should I take my turn?
Dina, I'd like to see what you have here.
All right. Well, I am reading Spellbound by Emily Bronte.
I see.
Sorry if I butchered that for anyone.
It's okay.
All right. The night is darkening around me. The wild winds coldly blow. But a tyrant spell has bound me, and I cannot go. The giant trees are bending, Their brer brots wade with the snow, and the storm is fast descending, and yet I cannot go. Clouds beyond clouds above me, waste beyond waste below, and nothing drear can move me. I will not, cannot go.
Dina, that was powerful.
Thank you.
I mean, of course, part of it was your delivery, but just those lines. There's something so esoteric about them, something so mystical, and it's incredible to know that's just a song about winter.
Right. You know,
know?
Winter is a beast. It can definitely be the harshest time of year.
Absolutely.
But that's just what it is. It's that cold that resonates with you. But it's also that warm that you have when you're around the fire, when you're with your family, when you're opening presents you may have. And it's nice to see the double-edged sword, the two sides of the coin.
I agree. Oh, man. And, well, Dina, I'd like to hear it from you, because what would you say the tone of this work was? Well, what did you say they were going for?
I think they were going for real somber, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? I know it's a bit redundant, but kind of a poetic feel to it, you know.
Oh.
Some poems, contrary to popular belief, aren't very poetic in the way they're written.
Let's say, would you say that they're moody?
Moody. That's a perfect way to put it.
Excellent. And that's definitely the impression I'm getting, because that's also speaking to the power of poetry.
For sure.
It's enriching the world around you. It's looking at the mundane and contrasting it with the fantastical. And that's what we see here. So excellent job with Emily.
Thank you.
Very excellent there. All right, now, would you like me to read off another one here?
I would love for you to read off another.
Excellent. Then today we're going to do something a little more easy to digest than our good old leaden sieves. It's Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. And isn't that just an appropriate name?
Robert Frost is a truly great poet with a lot of famous works. And so I'm excited to hear what this great man has to hear.
As am I.
Or has to say.
As am I. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark, and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep.
That was very good, Ian.
Thank you.
I feel like that poem is quite straightforward. Maybe not a ton of symbolism like we get used to, but that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
You know, poetry doesn't have to be this complicated beast. Sometimes it's just what it is at face value, and that's okay.
I actually appreciate that, Dina. I appreciate that it's not trying to go in a super ethereal direction. Because I should have mentioned, this is Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. That's the title of this work here, and that's exactly what it is. It's a snapshot of our reality, and that's another great power of poetry. It petrifies and it retains an element of reality. It takes a capture of a moment and replicates it for future generations. And right here now, we're reading this, and we can so clearly envision this little village, this these towering treetops coated with snow, a tired horse whinnying. It's all so rich in its imagery. And
I think we've either seen it in person or in a movie where, there's that woods, and that woods is covered head to toe in snow. And it's truly beautiful anytime you see it. On the screen, in reality, whichever one, but
absolutely.
It's still great. Are we done talking about this poem for now?
I would say so, Dean.
All right. Well, we're going to transition off to a commercial break. We'll see you right back here with Poetry Perch.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Hi, friends. Welcome back to Poetry Perch. My name's Dean Glenn. This is my co-host once again.
That's Ian Hyman.
All right. I have two poems that I would like to share with us today. Are you all right if I do them two back to back?
Oh, absolutely,
All
Dina.
right. Perfect. The first one I'm going to read is A Winter's Blue Jay by Tara Tessadale. Crisply, the bright snow whispered, crunching beneath our feet. Behind us, as we walked along the parkway, our shadows danced. Fantastic shapes in vivid blue across the lake, the skaters flew to and fro, with sharp turns weaving a frail, invisible net. In ecstasy, the earth drank the silver sunlight. In ecstasy, the skaters drank the wine of speed. In ecstasy, we laughed, drinking the wine of love. Had the music of our joy sounded its highest note? But no, for suddenly, with lifted eyes, you said, "Oh, look!" And there, on the back brow of our snow-flaked maple, fearless and gay our love, a blue jay cocked its crest. Oh, who could tell the range of joy or set the boundaries of beauty?
Ah, Dina.
I was a little butchering there. Should probably practice more, but that's okay. Things happen.
Well, that's good, though, Dina, because you get the raw experience of it.
Of course.
And there was such a playful and diverse range of emotion in that work. I was enthralled when they mentioned the blue jay, because they are such gorgeous birds, Dina. They really are, and we do have a few around here.
I do see at least one every winter, and it's a highlight of my winter. we said earlier that you would find the theme. A lot of these winter poems are centered around love, and this one is no exception. This one isn't even in the subtext. It's very blatant and very out there that these two people are in love and they're on a date or what have you. And this blue jay just makes it all that much better.
Would you perhaps say that the blue jay is a symbol, Dina? A symbol?
Yes, I would argue that the blue jay is a symbol of their newfound love.
That's excellent.
The blue jay is showing up in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
And just like that blue jay showing up seemingly out of nowhere, their love also seemingly showed up out of nowhere.
It grows where the ground seems infertile, where it has not been tilled. It grows in the most surprising of places, Dina.
It truly does.
And blue jays, of course, they are birds accustomed to cold weather, but on a snowy day, in a snowy world, when do you see a blue jay, Dina?
Like I said, I typically see one or two every winter, but still, it's always odd to see that splash of color just over the white landscape.
I think yes, exactly. It pops. You can see it from a mile away, Dina, and perhaps there's some power in that too. Love is visible to the human race, and that is a great quality of us. That's a great quality of humankind.
It is truly a special thing that we can have.
You have to wonder. You really have to wonder, Dina. Are we someone else's blue jay? Does someone look?
That is a great way to think of it.
Someone look at humankind and think, well, how could such a fantastical creature exist with the capability of love?
I feel like our dogs look at us like that, actually. What a fantastical creature. Giving us food, giving us good pets,
Yeah. Now, Dina, you had a second poem that you wanted to do.
Yes,
All
I do.
right.
This one is titled Ice by Gail Mesera.
Oh, I know, that's going to be wintry.
Oh, yes. In the warming house, children lace their skates, bending, choked by their thick jackets. A Franklin stove keeps the place so cozy. It's hard to imagine why anyone would leave. Clumping across the frozen beach to the river, December's always the same at Ware's Coast. The first sheer ice. Black, then white, and deep until the city sends trucks of men with wooden barriers to put up the boys' hockey rink. An hour of skating after school. Of trying wobbly figure eights and an hour of distances moved backwards without falling. Then twilight. The warming house steamy with girls putting on boots, their chafed legs aching. Outside, the hockey players keep playing, slamming around the black puck. Until it's dark. Until supper. At night, a shy girl comes to the cove with her father. And although there isn't music, they glide arm in arm into one blurred surface together, braced like dancers. She thinks she'll never be so happy for anyone else to find her so graceful. Find her perfect. Skate with her in circles outside the empty rink forever.
Dina, that one. You want to talk about powerful.
Most definitely. And the imagery just exquisite.
It's exquisite. And it's even... I feel like it really separates itself from the time period as well. Like, we've heard mentions of leaden sieves, of horseback carriages, and you can imagine that, Dina, but you don't see that nowadays.
Right.
I didn't know what a sieve was an hour ago. And but there, you see the mention of these great sheets of black and white ice, of hockey rinks, of skating, and it feels so timeless, so universal.
There are so many places just around our area where you can go skate. There are places just about everywhere you can go skate, regardless of if it's a genuinely cold place like Indiana is, or if it's California. It doesn't
right.
matter. Anyone can find a place that they can go skating. And so anyone can truly relate to this one if they're trying to.
Though I have to be honest, Tina, I've actually never learned how to skate.
I haven't either, but
I'm not
how fun would that be? Wouldn't that be great?
I feel like it'd be a little unwieldy. Though there is one thing about that poem also that I think is, it's very noteworthy because it stands out from everything else. The rest of these works that we've read today, they've been told from the perspective of a learned individual. It's talked about an adult experience, a romantic, transcendent experience in winter. Here, we don't have that sophistication. We have children out in winter, and I think that's actually, I feel like that's actually much more emblematic of the season. I feel like that's a lot, that says a lot. I like looking at that. I like seeing, this is not just a time to stare at the trees and say, that's so pretty. No. Winter makes a natural playground for children. It does.
I'd like to circle back. No matter how cold it gets outside, you can always go to your friends, go to your family, sit around that fireplace and just have fun. Be with the people you love and really get that warm feeling that this poem can give you. And it's the most important thing to come by, you know?
I agree. I really do agree, Tina.
All right, we got one more commercial break, and then we'll be back with Poetry Perch.
Excellent.
Things could be stranger, but I don't know how. I'm going through changes now. Could spend a lifetime trying to figure it out. I'm going through changes now that have just begun. Under a purple sun, there's many reasons we are what we've become. I'm going through changes now. Things could be different, but I don't know how. I'm going through changes, through all of the strangeness. I'm going through changes now.
And I can't change, even if I try, even if I wanted to. My love, my love, my love, she keeps me warm. 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 She keeps me warm.
We are neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
Love is kind. Love is patient.
Hi friends, welcome back to Poetry Perch. We have one poem that is going to be read by two of our friends today, Amara Nestor and Anna Benonier. Now off to them.
The Snow Fairy by Claude McKay. Throughout the afternoon, I watched them there. Snow fairies falling from the sky. Whirling fantastic in the misty air, contending fierce for space supremacy. And they flew down a mightier force at night, as though in the heaven there was revolt and riot. And they, frail things, had taken panic flight down to the calm earth, seeking peace and quiet. I went to bed and rose at early dawn, to see them huddled together in a heap, each merged together upon the lawn, worn out by the sharp struggle, fast asleep. The sun shone brightly on them half the day. By night they stealthily had stolen away.
And suddenly my thoughts then turned to you, who came to me upon a winter's night, when snow sprites round my attic window flew, your hair disheveled, eyes aglow with light. My heart was like weather when you came. The lantern winds were blowing loud and long, but you, with joy and passion all aflame. You danced and sang a littling summer song. I made room for you in my little bed, took covers from the closet fresh and warm, a downful pillow for your scented head, and lay down with you resting in my arm. You went with dawn. You left me ere the day, the lonely actor of a dreamy play.
Hi. Okay. Thank you so much, Amara and Anna. That was a really, really deep poem. It really reminded me of one of my favorite holiday activities, actually.
Really?
Me and my mom, when I was very young, we used to always sit down and watch Barbie and a Nutcracker together.
Oh, that's a wonderful thing.
Yeah. It really is, just having those good memories are important. So, what good holiday memories do you have?
Holiday memories? What do I have for
Yeah.
holiday memories? Well, last year, actually, there was a bit of a crisis in my home. I have 2 dogs at home. I have a Corgi and I have a Shorkie, which is a Shih Tzu Yorkie breed. And we were only able to spay and neuter them probably within the last year or so. But at the time of winter last year, at the time of Christmas, the holidays, they were not fixed. And the result.
We've had similar problems in my home as well.
So one day I'm just trying to eat my Arby's in peace. I'm in my room. I'm hanging out and watching the snowfall when I hear what sounds like a rat just screeching at the top of its lungs. I discover it's a small child. And by a small child, I mean a puppy. It's a small puppy. And he's been named Lucky now. Because it's lucky that he was around. He was the only surviving member of his litter.
Really?
Yes.
That's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate, but we still have him around to this day. He's healthy. He's all right. And it's just lovely having him around. He really was a Christmas miracle.
Well, I hope that everyone at home has some Christmas miracles this time of year too. It's been a hard year, but we're almost over. We'll see you next time on Poetry Perch. Remember, friends, snaps, not claps. See ya.